What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Doc and Dnick, the episode you've all been waiting for. Episode number 1, all about collecting autographs. I'm going to welcome in my guest host, Dr. Tim. Let's go. Welcome,
Hey,
Dr.
let's
Tim.
go.
What's up, my friend?
How's it going?
It's going pretty good. How's it going with you?
Going pretty good. Going pretty good. Think
Uh,
everyone's been waiting for this one. So,
yeah, episode 1. We had
yeah.
episode 0 last week.
Yep.
We're on episode 1 right now. If you guys are tuning in, I appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Coming back. If you're new here, I am Dnick55, otherwise known as Joe, and my co-host is Dr. Tim. We've been lifelong friends and collectors of everything. We go in phases of things. So,
Absolutely.
yeah. So I feel like the collecting life is
Yep.
going in phases, getting into something, getting out of something, getting into it again, and it's a vicious cycle. Yeah.
Spending
So
all your money, going, what did I do?
yes, definitely. All that. Lenny, what is up? Lenny, my friend. How's it going? Yeah, so we are here to talk tonight, as the title says, all about autographs. So if you guys are into collecting autographs, that's great. You guys will love this episode. If you guys are into collecting, that's great. You
Yeah.
will love this episode. If you just want to hang out and support us, that's great. We love you. So, with that, Tim, what have you been up to this week? Let's get into that.
Oh, just work and some collecting. Actually, we talked last episode about my mini grail, looking for that one figure from the PVC Donkey Kong series.
Yep,
And
yep.
not long after that, not long after episode 0, I happened to start getting some deals and some offers come my way. And I did track it down. It's in the mail right now.
Oh,
So,
really?
yeah. So it'll be on its way here soon.
I'm trying to think if I picked up anything this week for. Oh, I did complete. I found the last. I kind of showed it a little bit last week. Let's see if I can get this here. I'm working on the entire rainbow of Uno cards for
Nice.
Daquan Jones.
Nice.
I was only missing one, and it popped up on eBay this week for $2.
Okay.
So
Let's
I
go.
bought that. Let's see if this is it's pretty cool. I don't know if it was kind of funny because he had himself had no idea that he had Uno cards. So yeah, there was one rare one. I gotta find where.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I finished that collection, and yeah. So other than that, that's pretty much the gist
Other
of
than
it.
that, work and sleep and work, right?
Yes. And then we had the Super Bowl
Yep.
on Sunday. Did you watch the Super Bowl? Did you watch the commercials? What'd you think there?
Yeah. I saw it a little bit. I had it on in the background while I was kind of working around the house. I was watching for my squares.
Yeah, big winner. I owe you some money.
Yeah. Yeah, I got one.
Yeah, I owe you some money.
Yeah. But other than that, it was okay. Some of the commercials were pretty good. I
Yeah,
like
some
the
of them were
big.
good. Some of them you're like, this is
What is,
someone's a professional paid
yeah.
for this. Did you have a favorite commercial from the weekend?
I liked the one where it was almost like I think one of the reviewers called it like the Avengers Endgame of advertisements, where it was for I think like DoorDash or something like that.
Oh
You had
yes,
all the
yes.
characters like the Jolly Green Giant and the
Yep.
Kool-Aid Man and the cereal characters and all coming together, and at the end it's for DoorDash.
Yeah,
So
I did like that one. There was one that I think this is bad because I can't remember it was for a truck. And like it was the Three Bears.
oh yeah.
See, that's the bad part about I can't remember what the brand was.
I think it was Dodge.
Maybe it was Dodge. Let me see.
Maybe. With the fellow from Top Gun, right? From Top Gun
yes.
Maverick.
So I really enjoyed that, and also the from the I like the Bud Light cul-de-sac ad.
Oh yeah, the
It was
party.
Post Malone and Shane Gillis. That was great. That was
That was
great.
pretty
So,
good. Yeah.
I think we're planning on seeing Captain America tomorrow, right?
I think that's the plan. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we're looking forward to that. So we'll probably talk about that on our next podcast next week. We'll try to get that out in a little advance because we're both busy. We tried to get Tuesday, but life happens, so we moved to the Thursday, and here we are. And now here you guys are helping us enjoy our Thursday evening. And I have tomorrow off of school. Do you have to work
Oh,
tomorrow?
I do have to work tomorrow. I don't have to work Monday, but I do have to
Okay,
work.
me too. I have a 4-day weekend. Very
Yeah.
excited about that. Very excited about that.
Nice.
So if you guys are tuning in, we're gonna get into it right now. And hey, if you guys could do us a favor, if you could like this, and if you haven't already, subscribe. We're one subscriber away from 1,950 subscribers, on our way to 2K. Hopefully, we can get 2K by the end of this month. That's our goal, to get 2K by the end of the month. So share it with your friends. Tell your neighbors, tell your mom, your dad, your grandma, your grandpa, your pets. If they have a YouTube channel, tell them about
Share
it.
it on Facebook.
Share it on
wherever.
Facebook,
Yeah.
Instagram, Twitch, TikTok,
Yeah.
MySpace. If you're still on MySpace, share it on there.
Yeah, let Tom know.
Yeah, if you're still on LimeWire downloading illegal music, put it on there. Wherever.
Shame on you, but it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, shame on you. All right, so let's get into it. Let's get right into it. That's why you guys are all here. Welcome to. We're gonna go into three things. We're gonna talk about our personal challenges, our personal journey, and experiences in collecting autographs specifically, and then our approach to collecting, and then go into some challenges and rewards. Let's go into that. So, Doc, how did you first get in to autograph collecting? Do you remember your first autograph you ever got?
I do, and it's kind of a big one, and I lost it, and it breaks my heart to this day. But it was Billy Martin of the New York Yankees.
Wow.
Back in fourth grade, we had to do a biography project where, most people choose like Abraham Lincoln or whatever. And one of my classmates chose Billy Martin, and she said, "Oh, I give his wife riding lessons, and I'll think I can bring him in." And of course, it's fourth grade, and everybody's like, "Yeah, sure, bring in Billy Martin, whatever." Well, sure enough, she came in to do her biography on Billy Martin, and who comes walking in behind her but Billy Martin, the manager of the Yankees. He had his World Series ring too. I do have a photo. There is photographic evidence, but I don't know if y'all want to see a fourth grade version of Tim. Kind of glasses and stuff like that. But yeah, he signed a piece of paper for me, and I, like a good fourth grader at the time, conveniently lost it over.
Man!
But I do have the photo.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. It's about the memory, That's really what collecting is about. It's about the memory. So
absolutely.
Yeah, same thing happened to me. Not same thing. I didn't have someone bring in the person, but my first autograph that I can date back to, because I was thinking about this week, was I got Jim Kelly's autograph. It was 1991. So this was second Super Bowl run they were going on. We went to see them play against the Indianapolis Colts at the time, and I remember I ran into him. I had him signed a Pro Set card. I don't remember. You remember Pro Set?
Yeah, I love those cards.
It was either 92 or I want to say it was 91 or 92. I had him sign a Pro Set card, and I had that with me all through college. And when I moved away to college, I don't know if my dad threw it away or it got lost, because we lost some things when we had the flood in 06. But I can't find it. But I have replaced most of my autographs from that time with like ones I've gotten. So I did get another Jim Kelly autograph, but sadly I don't have my first autograph. So that's my story. Yeah, it's a story. I was walking, I look over and like there's Jim Kelly, and it looked like no one recognized. It was so weird because it was after the game, and I just remember him walking, and there's a crowd of people around him, but like not asking for his autograph. I think it was his family and brothers, and I I just went right up to him, and I remember the guy saying, "Don't stand in front of him. Don't stand in front of him." And I was like standing next to him, and he like took it and signed it, and bam,
Nice.
my first autograph. So that was
Nice.
pretty cool.
And that was
Yeah.
peak Jim Kelly.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. So I was, that was before the days of authentication, before the days of like getting things slabbed. That was like I put it in a top loader and put it on my wall.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, it was that was definitely a great memory. So yeah. Going with that. So yours was a good memory, mine was a good memory, right?
Yeah.
Do you have any negative or like disappointing experiences trying to get an autograph before?
I had one, and I don't want. They were a comic book artist,
Okay.
pretty well known one. I don't want to say names.
Yeah, let's leave names out of it. Leave names out of it.
Yeah. But pretty famous comic book artist, and they were at a Comic-Con, and I got talking to them a little bit and was like, hey, like I grew up, they probably the same story that they've heard a million times, right? I grew up with your art and, really enjoy it and stuff. And for some reason, like I went to get his autograph. He went to autograph a piece for me, and he said something like, "Oh, it'll be like $10 or $15." I'm like, "Okay," and I handed him a 20, and he went off like, "Oh, everyone just has 20s," and it's like, well, I just went to the ATM to pay you, so you're welcome.
Yeah,
but yeah, they're rather
giving you money.
Yeah, they were rather insulted that I tried to give them money and they had to give me
change. I had to give them change. It's so beneath them.
Yeah, but after that one, I kind of walked away, kind of going like, okay,
Yeah, it kind of ruins it for you.
Yeah, so yeah. Sometimes I look at the stuff now and it's a little bit, honestly, it's a little bit tainted by that story, like that experience. It's just like, okay.
Yeah.
That good memory was just kind of shattered.
Yeah, I get that. It's tough when you are so excited or you want to meet somebody, even paying to meet them.
Yeah,
they have to make a living.
Yeah,
I have no issue paying for an autograph. It's kind of almost guarantees me, that they're gonna take their time, they're gonna sign it, and it's an experience you're paying for. So
yeah.
I have no problem with that. Some people have a problem paying for autographs. I have no issue with paying for autographs. So
me neither. It's dependent on who it is, and it's it's a thing. So
I mean, as long as what I'm paying for is has the value to it, or has the experience gives the value to me, then sure. So I think some people now are charging. I just saw I'm going to name drop these people because I don't care. I just saw the Steiner brothers.
Oh, yeah.
Charging $100 for a photo op.
Yeah.
$100.
Yeah. $50 for each brother.
That's when you're starting to get a little bit crazy. I don't know if they would be $100 at their peak.
Right.
And you talk about wrestling fan now going to these wrestling, they don't know who the Steiner brothers are. You think they do?
They might a little bit because of Rick's son, Braun Breaker.
Yeah,
so they keep hyping up, saying, he's a relation to the Steiners.
Who I have his autograph, by the way.
Yeah.
So
nice.
Yeah,
nice. But yeah, I think I paid like $30 for a photo op with Demolition.
Yeah. So
and they were even in their makeup, so it was like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, I think I don't want to say I haven't had really many bad experiences. The only thing about is, in my line of work, what I do, and outside of teaching, I have another job, and I'm at a lot of Comic Cons and a lot of shows. It bothers me when athletes feel, or entertainers feel like they're mad that they're there.
Yeah.
They're mad, they can't, dude, you have a whole lot of people who you could make their day or break their day, or and you just have a miserable attitude. That bothers me.
Yeah.
I understand some of the young baseball guys coming up through, because I chase autographs with my son, and I'm fine with the guy that says, hey, no, if there's a crowd of people or they don't sign for me as an adult, I'm fine with that. I'm not gonna be like, oh man. But when you're one-on-one with a child and they have to have one thing for them to sign, and they say, no, or I'll sign it tomorrow, and then they come back tomorrow and they say no, I'll sign it tomorrow, and
Yeah.
they're like, come on, dude, there's one person, there's no one else around.
Or they act so annoyed that you dare
Yeah,
ask them, like, oh,
yeah,
like it's like, come on, like that's
yeah,
part of
yeah,
what you get into this for,
yeah, yeah. So, I mean, if I feel like I remember the feeling I got when like Jim Kelly signed that, or when I got like a Thurman Thomas autograph, or I got David Wright's autograph as a kid, or getting some of the autographs I'm going to show you guys, and like the feeling it gave me, and like the euphoria, like I would love to give that feeling to somebody else. Like if I can
Yeah,
make somebody's day. So
absolutely.
yeah, that would be. I don't know. I would love that, but maybe
Yeah.
it gets old. We can't put. I mean, maybe it does get old. So
I don't know, but
yeah,
of course it depends on the mood too, and if they
yeah,
won the game or not.
yeah. And I this year we had going through. There was a prospect who was like flying through, Christian Campbell. He's with the Red Sox organization, and he was like not a top prospect at the beginning of the year, but he like flew up the board. Like
Uh-huh.
he skipped 3 levels, and he was the nicest kid I have ever met. Like I said, hey, Mr. Campbell, I watched your game last night. That home run you hit to right field, and I love you the way you play the game. And he's like, thank you, appreciated that. He goes, do you have anything you want me to sign? Because sometimes when I see, I just want them to know the first time they see me that
Yeah.
like, hey, I don't. So he's like, I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, I do. And he signed stuff, and he goes, do you have anything else? I'm like, oh, I have a few. He signed everything for me, for the people around us. He's like, I really appreciate you guys coming out and watch me. I'm like, this is a class act
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
What's going on? Oh, Austin Tanner says, Tim.
Austin Michaels, what's up, bud?
Yeah, he says, Tim.
From Cincinnati, all the way out in Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
He's covering the Bengals.
Oh, man.
We won't hold that against him. No.
Yeah, we won't. But maybe he can get, Ellie De La Cruz, I think, is one of the most exciting players to watch right now. Maybe he can get in there with some of the Cincinnati Reds. So, yeah, that's I mean that's the moment that got me hooked. Really, is that first autograph, like knowing that.
Yeah.
And I love the just the having someone that I respect and I enjoy having like their signature on like a piece was really cool to me. I love sports. I love entertainment. So that was something that like really got me hooked. And now I love getting like historical autographs.
Yeah.
Like we talked about, I love getting like, I have a friend who's collecting every president's autograph. So he already has like, he has George Washington.
Wow.
He has Abraham Lincoln. He has like some of the big ones. So
Nice.
it's actually like some of the unknown, like the presidents who were like not that popular are the, he says, Ellie is a great guy.
Yeah.
Oh man,
and we don't hold that against you, Austin. Tippy cat, man.
No, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's really really cool. So, yeah, Ellie's definitely a fun. I hope to work with Ellie someday in my business. But yeah, he's definitely a fun guy, and he's somebody who does take in a great pride in his autograph. He is not someone these days who does like just the, oh my gosh, this is a great. Austin said my favorite autograph that I have is Rod Sterling. Why? I've never thought about even looking for his autograph.
Yeah,
that's an awesome one. That is really cool.
Twilight Zone.
Yeah, and Dr. Tim and myself from our hometown.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. So now I'm getting this idea, like, I need to find a Rod Sterling autograph.
I played Rod Sterling. So his
you did.
100th birthday was last year. And the one of the school districts around here where he went to school, they had me come in and film a thing, and I played Rod Sterling.
That's awesome. Yeah, there's Nate.
Hey, Nate.
Nate collects autographs. Nate, do you have a favorite autograph?
Yeah.
No. That was dynamite dropping, Nate. Dynamite dropping right there.
That was awesome.
Yeah. As they say to me, he has a face for radio, folks. He has a face for radio.
Oh, no.
All right.
Oh my.
Yeah. So we got through some of that, our favorite experiences, our least favorite experience. Have you ever got an autograph and you just look at it, you're like, what is this? What is this? Like you're like,
Um,
what is the letters that you signed here? People are getting lazier and lazier
yeah,
as
super fast.
yeah. Um,
Um, well, I have one here. Please don't hold this one against me. I'm a White Sox fan,
yeah,
long suffering.
we
But
know. We know.
Harold
Yeah.
Baines is kind of a weird autograph there. It's like, what is that?
Um, yeah, right now there's a few people that have some really bad autographs. Let me see if I can go here. This is let's see if I can share my screen with you all. This would be present. I'm gonna go share my screen. Don't show you tips again. This is Anthony Richardson from the Colts.
Oh yeah.
Um,
What?
he just I don't know if you guys can see that. Um, this is his legit autograph. He
That is it's wow. Okay.
AR.
Yeah.
Yeah. I it's awful. So people are paying good money, $400.
Yeah.
Like this guy, this is what he does. If I was like going to meet him and he was charging, I think when he came out, $125 an autograph,
Yeah.
and he wrote AR on it.
Yeah. Now here's the thing for you because I was learning this the other day. I'd seen a video on it. But apparently, like Tom Brady, like
Yeah.
doesn't sign like the same autograph twice, or he like signs it a certain way for 1 year and not for another year. Have you?
Yes.
Did you see that?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Here-
something like that would be interesting, but something like this, like the little AR.
Here's Yanquel Fernandez, one of the Rockies' top prospects. Can you still see my screen?
I can still see your screen. Yes.
Are you? Hold on. Hold on. Yanquil Fernandez auto. So he used to have this nice autograph,
Mhm.
and let's see what happened to it. Now it has become
I
YF.
I feel like I could make that autograph.
Like he started out with this, and then now he is going to the YF. Like what? Or just signing way down here. Like what is going on? Like what are we doing? So yeah, there's been some pretty awful autographs recently. So people aren't taking their time and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's crazy. But um anyways, moving on. And so I would say that's also my disappointing experience when like you pay or you do something like that and you get like that's what you get.
Yeah.
Wow, wow.
Yeah.
Are
Some are
you into
good.
collecting? What's that?
Some are good. Some are bad.
Yeah, we'll have that. You'll have that.
Yep.
Do you I mean, I know, but do you have any specific type of autograph that you collect, sports, entertainment, historical figures, wrestlers, like what is there something like, oh, I want that autograph? Is there a reason behind it usually?
Yeah.
You have
So,
some with you want to share?
yeah, I do. Some. It's a little bit of everything. Honestly, and I've got them all over the place here. Um, like we talked about in the past. Um, I bought ones. So this is Dion Dawkins. It was a
Oh yeah,
mystery helmet. You didn't know which one you got, so that was kind of part of the excitement. Like,
yeah.
who would you get?
The blind bag of autographs. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And I pulled in. This is when I went to the WWE Hall of Fame back in 2004. So this would have been for
Wow.
WrestleMania 20, and you had to get in line for a certain set of autographs. And either side, you got four either side. You couldn't get both. You had to choose. Well, basically, whatever line you're in, you're
Yeah, it was
supposed to
random.
But this is actually Rey Mysterio,
Yep.
The late Eddie Guerrero, Dawn Marie, and Scotty Too Hottie were the 4 on our side.
Wow. Who were? Do you know who the 4 on the other side were?
The 4 on the other side were Greg the Hammer Valentine, I think maybe Chavo, and the wrestler who shall not be named, but he went over at that WrestleMania.
Okay.
Chris Benoit. Oh wait,
All right. Yeah.
So yeah, he was on the other side.
All right. All right.
So Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty. That's pretty good. 2 out. Yeah, that's great. That's
Yeah.
great. Who went into the Hall of Fame that year?
That was Bobby Heenan, Bobby the Brain Heenan,
Yep.
Superstar Billy Graham, Jesse the Body Ventura.
Okay.
I think Pete Rose went in too. I got to see Pete Rose.
Wow. Yeah.
Pete Rose. And initially, they were saying that the autograph sessions would be with them, but it turned out they switched them, and they switched to talent, and that happens.
It happens. Yep.
But
all right.
Yeah.
Hey, what want me to share some of mine I got here?
Sure.
I have a whole stack here. So one of the cool ones I got recently actually was a gift, and if you guys don't know, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I love the storytelling. I love the lore. I love lightsabers, all that cool stuff.
Yeah.
And one of the new shows, Ahsoka had Ray Stevenson in it, who right after the show, before the show even aired, passed away, sadly. So he actually didn't have any Star Wars autographs out there that I knew of.
Right.
So, but my friend always sent out postcards to Star Wars characters.
Oh.
So he was actually the voice of Gar Saxon, who was a droid. And he signed it, and he wrote,
amazing.
I cannot find any other Star Wars related Ray Stevenson autographs out there.
Yeah, because it wasn't that long before.
It wasn't that long after they were filming that he passed away.
Yeah.
So like you're not getting. I mean, he might have had some stuff out there that he signed during the show or pre-show. Like he might have had, but there's no cards. There's no like Topps doesn't have, unless they have sticker cards. There's no on-card autographs.
Right.
His rookie card was in Topps Chrome this year, so I mean it came out way after the show. So like having this, like not gonna lie, when he gave me this, I cried because he knew like he could have sold this to somebody and made a lot of money, but he knew how much Star Wars means to me, and it's kind of funny to say that, but yeah, that was pretty cool. The other cool Star Wars one I got, I'll show. I don't know why Ahsoka this is a from Ahsoka. This is Ahsoka Tana. This is Rosario Dawson.
Nice.
So there's that. Austin said, I just went to a Star Wars themed wedding last week.
Interesting.
Was there a light and dark side? Like you could choose?
Which side would you like to sit on? The light or the dark?
Yeah. When they say, who gives this bride? He like, I am the father. That would have been great.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
Best thing ever.
Yeah, I have a whole stack of cool, like, I have a lot of these ones in person, but I got this one. I bought this one.
Nice.
This was a JT Schwartz. This is a 101 card from Prism, but not a super huge star. But what I like about JT, after every single game, he would go in, he would clean up his team's bench. He would take all the cups that people were like throwing on the ground, pick those up, throw them away, and he would come out and sign autographs for everybody.
Nice.
So just a class act. So like those are the type of people I like to collect. So I got that, and so that was pretty cool.
Nice. No, yeah. I have some interesting music ones too.
Okay.
Back in the day, I was a DJ promotions person.
Yeah.
To reflect. So some of the artists that I got to meet Sammy Hagar a couple times. That's why he's on here. I did not get to meet the one in the middle. is kind of a Grail autograph for me. I didn't get to meet them, but this is Aerosmith.
Okay.
All five members
Wow.
of Aerosmith signed that one, and the old '90s band Fuel. So it's interesting because you get to meet these people,
Yeah.
and yeah, you get the autograph, but it's just you get the chance to like share some stories. Sammy Hagar, class act guy as well.
Yeah.
They were trying to push him. He was signing everything, and his handlers were trying to push him onto the stage, be like, "Look, you got to go, you got to go, you got to go." And finally, he stopped them and he looked at them and said, "What are they gonna do? Like,
Yeah.
are they
Like,
gonna start the show without me?"
yeah.
Like,
Like, yeah, I am the show. I am the
yeah,
law.
yeah, yeah. I mean, Leonard Skinner opened up for him, and
Yeah.
then it was him and his band, the
Yeah.
Wobblitas, and yeah,
Yeah. It's funny you said it because last year Nate and I went to City Field and we had a behind the scenes tour of City Field as part of the Booster Club. And Brandon Nimmo came out, who was class act. He was just talking to every kid and adult, just like signing everything. And the guy kept going, "Come on, you gotta go, you gotta go." He's like, I'll be out there. Like the game is like 4 hours away. Like,
yeah,
what do you need me to do? So he's like, let me finish all this up. And the guy kept going, "Come here." And he just stayed. He's like, what? I'm gonna stay. Like, I'm gonna make these kids' day. I'm gonna make this guy's day. Like it was, yeah. So that was really cool. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'm trying to think. That was a really cool where he took his time to do that.
yeah.
I also like talk about stories. Sitting with my first job with the company I'm with now, or second job. Maybe it was my second job. I worked with Wade Boggs,
Nice.
and he was one of the kindest people. Like, asked me questions, was asking me about like what I do, and asking about my family. And a couple of police officers came in because he was sitting down signing. He stood right up to meet them, shook their hands, thanked them for what they did, and he had. If you guys don't know, Wade Boggs has a really good, strong connection with the police force,
Yeah.
and it comes to a lot of it comes to when they won the World Series. He like hopped up on a
He
horse
rode the horse. Yeah.
and he rode it around. And he says that wasn't planned. He still doesn't remember how he even got on the horse. He's like, I still haven't watched the video of it. He's like, I couldn't tell you how I got on the
Really?
horse. He's like, I signed that picture more than anything else. And he goes, sadly, like 3 or 4 months ago, the police officer that he rode with, I stayed in contact with him for, this is what, 20 years
Yeah.
or 25 years. He's like,
Yeah.
sadly, he passed away like 3 or 4 months ago from cancer. And like, you could tell he was like really emotional about it. So yeah, having like that, he was a really cool, like and he actually just got diagnosed with cancer. So,
Yeah.
yeah, so hopefully he's, from what I think I saw, he's doing well. So yeah, him and Ryan Sandberg, I think, got diagnosed right around the same time.
Oh my.
So
Yeah. He was an interesting meet and greet for my uncle. He told me the story because my aunt and uncle were up in Cooperstown. Hall of Fame's not too far from here, and it was interesting because he was eating lunch outside of a restaurant, and there was a sign right next to him that said, "Get your photo with Wade Boggs while he's eating lunch." And sure enough, like at first, like my aunt and uncle were like, we don't, he's eating, we're not quite
yeah,
sure, but there's a sign. and so they asked, and he was like, yeah, sure.
love that.
They got a photo with Wade Boggs.
Wade Boggs actually, he signs through the mail for $20.
That's awesome.
Yeah, $20. You get a Hall of Famer, one of the best hitters of all time.
All time, yeah.
Austin said, Tim, can you please tell your story from meeting Hulk Hogan for the first time at the airport?
Sure. That's one of the autographs I actually didn't grab was my Hulk Hogan.
That's taboo right now. People
yeah.
He's not very well liked in the
Yeah. He kind of got booed, but
yeah.
At that time, they brought him into a music festival around here. Actually, they brought in his daughter, and at the time, Hulk actually came for free to kind of bring people to come on out and see his daughter Brooke singing, and went up to the airport to greet him because I was promotions director and a radio DJ, like we just talked about. And he got out and larger than life, and he got off his jet and stretched out, and it was like the dude was massive. He had retired by then. Like this was kind of post NWO, WCW, all that. But he looked at us and said, "Oh, hey, what's going on, brother?" And of course, you're trying to be professional and be like, "Hi, how's it going?" Inside, 8-year-old me is like, "Hulk Hogan just called me brother."
Yeah.
Yes,
I ate my vitamins, brother.
Yeah. So came over, introduced myself. I said, "Hi, my name is Tim. Thank you so much for coming out to join us." His hand swallowed my arm up to my elbow for the handshake, pretty much. Like it was just massive. And then one of my interns was right next to me, and she said, "Hi, I'm Kate." And he goes, "Oh no, round here, brother or sister, we don't shake hands, we hug." And he pulled her in the 24-inch python to give her a hug. But what was wild was I could only see her eyes in between his forearms. And they're like bugging out, like half like, "Tim, can you rescue me? And is this really, is this really happening?" And I'm looking at her going like, "There's probably no way I'm getting you out of that.
Yeah, that's
let's go." But nice fella, very polite, him and his family. Brooke did a couple of her songs, and they
was this at the time that he had that Hogan Knows Best show?
Yes, this was just before they launched that show.
Okay.
So they were getting ready.
Okay.
And Brooke had the music career going on.
Okay.
So he was trying to get popular.
She doesn't sing still. Mike Sheevy says, "I was there."
Yeah, he was. I believe I got Mike Sheevy backstage too.
All right. Mike Sheevy was there. Yeah, I don't know if wait, you know what year that was?
2004.
Oh, so I was probably at college then. I was away.
Yeah, probably
at college. So yeah, that was Hogan Knows Best. What a weird show that was.
Yeah, and just weirder as the years went on.
Yeah, sometime we should get into like shows we watched that wouldn't be allowed now.
Yeah.
Like that should be an episode in the future. What shows did we watch? Or what like themes were there that like just were like you had that now, but like what?
Yeah, like, why did we watch this?
Like there's so many shows like
how did this happen?
Like Jesse being addicted to caffeine pills. Now kids just chug energy drinks like it's their job. Like imagine if Jesse Spano had a Red Bull. Like can you imagine a Celsius and Jesse Spano?
Some kid with their Monster Energies drink is going like, what a wimp.
Yeah. Like there was like, you said you stopped taking these.
Yeah. Oh my.
That was a real storyline of a real show.
Yeah.
Taking caffeine pills.
Yes.
Now there's not a kid that drives by Dunkin' doesn't have 300 milligrams of caffeine in them every day.
Yeah. Very special episode, that one.
Yeah.
Very special.
Yeah, off topic there. But anyways, that's great.
Yeah, I know.
Future show, write it down. Write it down up here. Yeah, so that was great. So meeting Hulk Hogan. Yeah. What's the most you've ever paid, if you don't mind me, paid for an autograph?
Oh, paid?
Yeah.
So in a way, it was $200. But again, it was for one of those monster mystery boxes.
Okay.
We didn't know who I was going to get. It was Buffalo Bills mystery box.
Okay.
We had a chance of landing a Josh Allen.
Yeah.
We had a chance of landing like a Stephon Diggs at the time.
Yeah.
I landed, it was a full-size Speed helmet autographed by Gabe Davis.
Okay.
With an inscription that said, "Let's go Buffalo."
Okay.
But it was a mystery box, so I didn't know who I was going to get. But and full size, not the mini helmet.
Yeah, those are expensive.
Yeah.
Like you came and buy a full size helmet for $200.
Yeah. Yeah.
So definitely came out. Yeah, I think my other buddy Tim bought a full size helmet at training camp this year, and it was $350 for the full
Oh my.
size. Yeah,
Yeah.
unautographed, just full size helmet unautographed, and yeah. So that's I'm trying to think. The most I spent on an autograph was probably Rosario Dawson. I want to say she was like 190, 180. Like it was like one.
Okay.
I think she was 180, and then $10 to have her sign like her character name. So
Okay.
yeah, so that's probably my most expensive one. But like right now, Josh Allen's $425 right now. If you
Right.
if
So
you
that's what
want
I
to get,
figured. It was like, oh,
yeah,
$200 and I might get a
he was
Josh Allen.
$50 his rookie year, and now he's $425.
Yeah.
Like it makes me so mad that I didn't go up to the show when he was there for $50. I'm like, oh, I'll give him some other time, and then he just took off. Autograph collecting took off, and I feel like we're in this phase now of collecting where autographs are cool and like collectible, but also the resale value is there. So
through the roof.
Yeah. And unfortunately, there's so many people out there faking things.
Yeah.
It's awful to see. And there was this whole Operation Bullpen where you guys can watch the ESPN documentary on it. It's awful what they were doing, faking all these famous signatures. So good that even experts were. So my suggestion is, if you're collecting an autograph, make sure it's authenticated by a legitimate company, not by some random dude living in his mom's basement writing certificates, printing them out on their printer. But trust JSA, PSA, Beckett, Fanatics. Those are the four, or a card pulled from a pack. So
or you wind up maybe with one of these. So
yeah.
The Frank Thomas. This is the infamous Frank Thomas ball. We'll have to bring it over to your house sometime.
Yeah.
Maybe you can.
That's actually, can you hold that closer to the camera? Oh, I think that's Frank Thomas, the accountant. I think he's the one who came up with the debits and credits columns, and he carried the one.
Of course.
He carried the one. Yeah. So that was oh man. That Nate, why don't you get can you bring up your did I show it last week? Did I show your kanji autograph last week? What? Did I show Nate's kanji? Did I show you that last week?
No, you didn't.
Can you get your kanji autograph? So Nate and I collect autographed baseballs, and we started it this year. And there was a futures game, and I've always just had baseball signed. I didn't know, so I'm learning along. I didn't know there was like logo balls, like for my like.
That didn't sound good.
It just tipped over. It didn't drop. So like there was a futures game, which are like future stars, and then there's a logo on the ball. Let's see if I can pull this out here. So this is Hao Yu Lee, who was a top prospect for Detroit. So it has, see if I can go here. So let's start. So it has the futures game logo on it.
Nice.
And so a lot of times, when you hand the player, they sign underneath the logo. So
right, they don't put it on the sweet spot.
Yeah, can you get me the Bobby Witt Jr. one on the top right? So like I have an All-Star Game one of Bobby Witt Jr. So yeah, that would be like what normally they do. You have the All-Star, they sign under the logo.
Right.
So Nate was all excited because this is the first player we saw that played in the futures game, and he looked at it and turned it over and signed it on the sweet spot.
Oh, nice.
But I mean, you wanted to have Nate was all disappointed, but then we saw the autograph, and he does not sign. Let me show you his. This is kind of actually because I have it right here. I have his. This is his regular autograph.
Oh wow!
So that's his regular autograph.
Yeah.
So that's what you get, Hao Yu Lee. and this is what he signed in his native language, his full name for Nate on this ball. And I have not seen anyone else
That's so
um,
cool.
sign like that. And luckily, I had another authenticator there with me, so he saw it, and we were able to take this ball and put it into our database
Right.
as a
Legit.
authentic autograph.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
Wow,
one of
that's
the
awesome.
coolest autographs I've ever seen. So that was actually that's probably one of my this is probably one of my favorite autographs. Just because of the story behind it. So we were all disappointed at signing that logo. Then we saw it. We're like, man, that is awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Yeah. Yeah. Players don't like to sign. I learned this. Players don't like to sign in kanji or like their normal language because it's almost like signing their name in like printing their name. So
Right.
like Kodai Senga doesn't like to sign in kanji because it's almost like printing your name, and we would never print our name like an official thing. So that's what I learned about that. So it's kind of neat. So
That's awesome.
yeah. All right, we're kind of going off. We have a see here. Let's
Um,
go. We have a list of questions. I don't know if we're gonna
yeah.
get to all these.
What's our strategy for getting autographs? It's a little bit of everything.
Yeah, a little bit of
Um,
everything. I lately most of mine is going to the events and seeing them, like
yeah.
going to a baseball game, and it's a waiting game. Like you might wait 4 or 5 hours, and or I know if like WWE's coming in, like they're gonna have to go into the arena. I know the doors, so like you wait there.
Yeah.
And if they come over, they do. If they don't, they don't. But
Yeah.
that's why it's like if you want to pay for an autograph, you're guaranteed to get an
Yeah.
autograph. So it's another way. So it's
Yeah.
some people do both. Yeah.
And sometimes you wait for like the special events, like
Yeah.
we've got the minor league baseball team in town, and sometimes they bring in people as a way
Yep.
of selling tickets.
Yeah.
So you get to meet some interesting people.
Yeah, I met. Let's see. I have one from that. I think maybe I didn't bring it over here. I had a Shooter McGavin that I got signed at this year at the
Nice.
the event. So yeah, and I mean, for us, like we're going back through autographs that mean something to me. Tim and I are lucky enough to be friends with Daquan Jones, who I was his high school coach.
Yeah.
So we have this sign, but also, his buddy, who also is a good supporter of the charity that I run, AJ Panessa.
Yeah.
They come to the event, and those guys are just super nice. They'll sign whatever, so they're more willing to. And then going through some of these other ones that we didn't. This was Nate's. Nate had a 1-of-1 card of Christian Scott.
Nice.
And he was able to trade it with him on the field at Citi Field this year. And
that's
he
amazing.
traded it, and he signed this card for Nate and gave us a couple signed baseballs and gave us tickets to the game. Tim, you'll like this one.
Wait, who's that? Oh, Clark Griswold.
Yeah, a Chevy Chase sign with some of his iconic characters.
That's awesome.
You have on here. You have Fletcher, Griswold, and Ty Webb from Caddyshack.
Yep. No.
Yeah. So there's that.
Awesome.
Yeah. So those are some of the ones that
and those,
kind of like.
That'll be pretty big with Saturday Night Live 50 coming up.
Yeah. And Landon Donovan, U.S. maybe considered the best U.S. soccer player of all time. And then obviously we have our boy Josh Allen. So
nice.
Those are some of the ones that like I've collected the last couple of years, and they've been really meant a lot to me. And I have them displayed back there. Nate's going through them right now over there. So yeah, pretty sweet.
Yeah,
pretty sweet. Yeah, I know. It's like for me, it's like networking, talking to them. Like,
yeah,
kind of funny. Like, I'm almost like, what can I do for you? Like, is there something like if I can help with a charity, or if I can help? Oh, here, look at Nate. Look at this. Like, there's Shooter McGavin.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So this is obviously with Happy Gilmore 2 coming out. This is right when he was right before he went to Jersey City to film it. So
awesome.
Yeah, so that's, I mean, knowing where they are is, my friend got Adam Sandler when he was in Jersey City, so filming that. So it's yeah.
Always good times. Always good times.
Always good times. Always good times. How do you think that? How has the hobby changed from when we were kids, though? How do you think it's changed?
I don't know, like a little, maybe a little more. I don't know. We tend to go like we both talked about getting our first autographs and kind of losing them a little bit.
Yeah,
I think the desire to kind of collect collect them and kind of keep them minty,
yeah, yep,
um, and kind of has changed a little bit.
yeah.
Whereas maybe in the past,
We didn't have these.
yeah,
We
we
didn't have
didn't
a
have,
grading or authentic or encasing.
yeah,
Like
we
you're just
had
like,
the
you're like, oh
we had
yeah,
the
I got that. I got that autograph. I got that.
yeah, we have the kind of hard plastic
Yeah,
with the thin plastic.
yeah. If you're lucky, you put it in a soft sleeve and a top loader. If you
Yeah,
didn't have top loader, you put it in a that top loader probably turned yellow because it was made of like some plastic that was not good. But now I think the variety now, like the Funko Pop, people collect Funko Pops already.
yeah,
People
um,
collect cards. People collect pictures. People collect action figures. Like I have a natty action figure up here. I have a photo here. I have helmets here. Like, I mean,
yeah. It's not one thing.
it's not.
It's a
No,
bunch
it's
of
yeah,
different things that are
yeah.
kind of
Like,
unique and put together your collection. So
and I remember as a kid writing letters to athletes, and getting autographs back in the mail. And like now I still do that, but people charge to the mail, like which
oh
I get. I
yeah,
mean, some people get hundreds of packages a day. Like it's the guys who you are signing through the mail didn't make the money that guys make now.
right,
It's they don't got them. They didn't have the multi-million-dollar contracts and the deferred payments. A lot of them had to work second jobs or had
yeah,
to do like promotions or had to like have a restaurant they owned also. It's like that's what they did unless you were like a superstar and you had to. But yeah, so I think more and more too people are seeing it not as just as a hobby but as a business.
yeah.
And I think people are seeing the value in their name now. Like, oh,
Oh, for sure.
he's signing autographs. And he's getting charged $200. Oh, I beat him this year, or I was better than him. I should charge $225.
Yep.
Yeah, it's so I think it's gone more of the business side, which some people are against, but for me, it's fine. Like if that's a way, I
It,
understand they make millions of dollars, but it's their job and
yeah,
they've worked hard to have that value on their name.
yeah.
And so I guess I have no issue with people charging whatever they charge.
Well, and they probably figure it sometimes too. Like there are some collectors out there that collect and add to their collection and keep stuff in their collection. There's
Yeah.
some that just collect the autograph and then turn around and sell them. And then
Yeah.
there's some that's like a little bit in between. I'm going to keep this for my personal
Yeah.
collection, but this one I'm going to sell. So they're probably figuring, well, others are making money off of my name. I might as well make some money off of my
Yeah.
name.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't
Yeah.
you can't fault anybody for that. So
We've had two players this year ask me like, "Hey, where are you selling this?" or "How much is my autograph going for?"
yeah,
And they're aware of it. Like a lot of these players are collectors themselves. Like my
yeah,
friend who plays for the Cubs, he collects autographs of players on their team. Like I bring cards and I get them to sign
mhm.
cards. I collect them. But yeah, people they're aware of what they're selling for.
Oh,
I would say a
absolutely.
lot of them are. Some of them are totally clueless, but
Yeah. But there
um,
are some who are checking eBay going like, I wonder how
yep,
much my autograph is worth.
yeah, yeah. Um, and there's guys like Pete Rose who got banned from baseball, and
That's all he did.
his only way of collecting, he signed everything.
Yeah.
He was signing. No, it's kind of as crazy as I had a friend of a friend, who was working with Pete Rose, and he had Pete Rose sign a few dozen Hall of Fame baseballs because he figured that Pete Rose is eventually going to go into Hall
Into
of
the hall.
Fame, and he didn't know if he would be alive for it. He's like, so he got the Hall of Fame logo balls, and Pete Rose signed underneath it, and now that Pete Rose isn't with us anymore, if he does go in the Hall, those will be the only Hall of
Yeah.
Fame related things that he signed. So it's kind of interesting about that. So, well, we are at 1 hour.
Oh, did
Um,
real quick, didn't he didn't he set up a stand like just
Yeah.
at the edge of the Cooperstown
Yep.
line too?
Yeah, and he worked in Las Vegas at like a shop. He would just stay there every day. People would come in and get their autographs, and while they're in Vegas, and yeah, he would sign. He would sign anything for money, man. He would sign like, I cheated on baseball. He would sign like hit can't. He would sign whatever. But yeah, it's yeah. And what's sad is speaking of that, but side note, because I know another guy who signed a lot was Ricky Henderson, who recently passed away, and I was going to work with him in a couple weeks actually, and I never got his autograph, which kind of stinks. But I did pick one up from a friend, so that was kind of cool. Here's a question. Side note,
Yeah,
Tim. How do you feel about selling someone's autograph immediately after they die? So there's two things.
Oh,
so this is so I don't know. So last year or 2 years ago, when DeMar Hamlin had that awful tragic accident on the field, his autograph prices went crazy.
Right.
Like you were going on eBay, like, oh, I had like you might never like this is, and then people were buying $400, $500, $600 for autograph. It was $3 the day before.
Yeah.
And then this last year when Ricky Henderson passed away, I remember we had Screech Powers here signing.
Yeah.
And he passed away, and then like his stuff was going crazy high. Like, do you think there should be like a grace period before people sell, or do you think people it's okay to capitalize on that?
Kind of an ethical thing.
Yeah, like what?
I think, like I personally, I don't think I would go and buy an autograph of someone who recently passed away. I know there are people that do because they instantly think, oh, this is going to be a collector's item, and there's not going to be any more of these. But right after, I don't know if I would. I definitely wouldn't sell an autograph after someone.
I just have a problem with that. I don't know. I mean, it's just, I get you want to make that money, but like, have some respect.
Yeah.
Like,
there is time, you know.
Yeah. It's I understand the demand is probably high because like you have the emotion of losing somebody. If I have a Bray Wyatt autograph, and when he passed away, I just went online to see him, and all the new listings were like crazy for his autograph. So
I've got an Eddie Van Halen, and the same thing happened right around the time that Eddie passed away.
Yeah, so that's it's this good parts and bad parts of the hobby. I guess one more story before we go. Last year, 2 years ago, when I started getting back into this, there was a star player on the Yankees minor league system, and he didn't sign for this lady, and I want to say she was like in her 70, and she went on the team bus to yell at him for not signing to her. And the management had to like take her off, and they kicked everybody out of the stadium and like made us wait outside. And we're like, that one bad person can ruin it for everybody.
Oh, absolutely.
It was just so frustrating. Like it's their right to sign or not sign. And like when people get mad for players not signing, like, listen, I'm sure if you had the worst day of work that you've ever had and someone was standing at your car asking you to sign 30 things, it wouldn't be the most exciting thing for you to do.
Right.
Like you probably just want to go home, put some comfy clothes on,
get some ice cream.
And, but like that's what people do, man. They get so angry. They get so mad. Nate's eating ice cream. Where is he got an ice cream cone?
I don't know. That was like if it was on cue. Like we really didn't plan it.
Where'd you get?
He's good. He ran into somebody who wasn't signing autographs.
Yeah. Any advice for anyone just getting into the hobby before we close? Any advice? Anything that you'd tell anybody that if they were trying to get into collecting something from their favorite player, favorite entertainer, favorite wrestler? Any advice?
If I had any advice, I'd say just don't rush that person. I did a meet and greet with Alice Cooper, and one of the things that one of his managers came in and said was like, look, he's very happy to sign whatever you have. He will sign it. But when he walks into the room, just don't go flying up to him.
Yeah.
you know, and I would say the same thing with like, you know, people in public too. Like
Yeah.
sometimes, and I think we talked about this the last episode. Like sometimes, you know, they want to have that private moment. They're with their wife,
Yeah.
they're with their kids, they're with their husband, they're with their kids. You know, whichever. And you know, you're just kind of like, okay, we'll let you have that moment, as opposed to, you know, just running right up to them and go, hey,
Yeah.
you autograph this now.
Yeah. Depends. So there's two things. If you're in person, like not in a paid atmosphere,
Yeah.
use the word please and
Yes.
thank you.
Be respectful.
Don't
Absolutely.
just say sign this,
Yeah.
like, or call them by name. You know, even though I'm a 40-year-old person, I'll still address them by like, you know, Mr. Skinner,
Yeah.
Mr. whoever, Mr. Smith. You have a second to sign this, please, and then you know I'll use please and thank you. Is always a big thing for me. Um, and my advice also is collect people that you like that way. You know, some of the autographs I got are worth like nothing to anybody else, but to me, there's a story behind it. So
Yeah.
because of the person
Absolutely.
who they are, and so collect and you know, there's always always gonna have meaning behind it. It always will mean something to you. So don't chase these huge expensive autographs thinking you're gonna make tons of money in it.
Right.
Because one torn ACL and
That's it.
yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess I have gone to the part of my life now where I'm going quality over quantity. So yeah,
Absolutely. Because you do hit a point where it's like, where am I going to put all this stuff?
yeah. All right. Anything else? Last closing things there, Doc?
No, I think that's it for me.
All right. Well, we're back next week for a new topic. I'm not sure what we'll post it on my YouTube or on my Twitter. We'll let you guys know what topic. We might have a guest next week. So
Yeah, next week might be tricky because I'll be in Philadelphia, but
we
we can
won't
do
be
it.
here next week. I might be me and somebody else, or Doc from his hotel
Oh
room.
no, I've been replaced after the first episode.
Yep, you're fired.
Ah,
You're fired.
so maybe I'll join you from Philadelphia though.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, the top of the stairs.
Yeah, I'm within walking distance.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, I'm gonna go see where Nate got his ice cream cone from and get one myself. And if we don't see you guys next week, we'll see you the week after that. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. And as always, as the best quarterback in the NFL says, do good, be good, go Bills.
Absolutely. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
All right, we'll see you.